Welcome back to Fox News at Night. 11:26 now in Washington, D.C., 34 minutes away from a government shutdown that pretty much looks inevitable at this point. The last time the U.S. government shut down was in 2018 into 2019. It lasted 35 days, which was the longest shutdown in history, at least until this point. We will go back to Chad Pergram at the very top of the hour when the government actually shuts down as the breaking news continues right here on Fox News at Night.
The words that Donald Trump used today, enemy from within, I mean, that's Hitler-esque. That is right out of Nazi Germany. That is not constitutional speech. That is not the speech that we stand for in this country, where we believe in the rule of law. And the way that he talks about cities, that cities are full of his enemies. Why? Because they voted for Democrats.
And here we go again. The former adjutant general of the Illinois National Guard on MSNBC tonight, comparing the president to Hitler over remarks about his crime crackdown. Let's bring in Riverside County, California Sheriff and California gubernatorial candidate Chad Bianco, along with VetCom founder Kate Monroe. Thank you both for coming on. Kate, to you first. I want to talk about this Iowa superintendent who, of course, was chased, and he got in a car and he fled, and he had a gun and he had some cash and he had a knife and stuff in the car. And, you know, there were people out today in Iowa that were literally marching and protesting. And why is ICE getting this guy? But the Des Moines school board chair had the following to say. Watch.
We can tell you that on his I-9, he stated he was a citizen, and he provided two forms of verification, a driver's license and a social security card. As is typical in other organizations, this is what employers ask of their employees. And as an employer, we trust employees to fill out the required forms truthfully and provide valid documentation.
So they trusted him, and then he lied, and now there's some saying, oh, they're trying to, oh my gosh, he was the greatest superintendent ever, and ICE needs to just get out of Iowa.
Well, he might have very well been, but now you have new information that he is here illegally. How do you keep standing your ground on this? That entire party isn't just soft on crime. They do not care if people come across the border. They are pro-crime. They are pro-crime. They will literally try to get you back if you get deported. They will stand and march in your defense if you are here illegally and have a weapon, which is a felony if you are here illegally. It's beyond me how you continue to do this and don't implode your whole party, which they're at the precipice of doing.
And which, by the way, he had a weapons offense, by the way, 4 or 5 years ago to add to the gun that he had in the car that he should not have had in the car. Here are some grieving parents, Sheriff. I want to play this video. You know, it's hard to watch because you can imagine being in their shoes. And this first father, I mean, this is something you have to see, and you have to understand what these parents are going through. Watch.
Bang! Dead. Gone. Why? Because Alexander Devontae Dickey, who was arrested 39 damn times, 25 felonies, was on the street.
He shot my grandson in cold blood 7 times. And they didn't consider that as first-degree murder. They act like we would be lucky if we got manslaughter.
She's right. I mean, if a man loses his daughter, she loses her grandson. Criminals are always right. Your job, your career has been putting criminals behind bars, and yet you see things like this, Sheriff.
Yeah, and over and over and over. This is not new, and it's not recent. We're just learning about more and more, and there seeming to be more horrific, more murders with a more sophisticated and more extensive criminal background. And what we have to realize, California is the perfect example of this. Like usual, something bad is decades of bad policy, which is pro-criminal, has enabled these people to be able to do this over and over and over again. Liberal judges who let them out. That person should have been in jail. 2023 for 13 years. He should not have been out, and now that life is lost. So the hypocrisy of if we can only save one person, they don't care about the victims. They only care about suspects. And you cannot imagine what that mom and that dad are going through, losing their children needlessly.
It's crazy. It really is. Meantime, you have Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry, who says Listen, crime in New Orleans is getting out of hand, and this is what we need to do. Watch.
We started to see violence start to trickle down in the city of New Orleans, and lately we've seen an uptick. So I'm calling the president today. I sent a letter to Secretary Hegseth and said, hey, we want some orders. Please send us some troops, and we are going to crack down on violence in the city of New Orleans. We're not going to tolerate this uptick in violence that's going on right now.
The governor saying, listen, we need help. New Orleans needs help. Send us help. And Trump's, yep, fine.
But apparently Portland doesn't need
Nope,
help.
no, Portland doesn't need it.
any
Chicago
help.
doesn't need it. No, Chicago, another 38 people shot this weekend. We don't need any help.
I mean, the National Guard's whole purpose is to do just that. And when they send people there, they need to let them actually do their jobs. It's actually hard for National Guard to go and just sit idly by and watch. They need to let them actually aid the police force when they're there. You know, the sheriff knows better than anybody. When National Guard's there to stand behind you and stand with you, you can actually give a show of force that will shut that stuff down. I mean, look at D.C. Put the National Guard there. Oh, voila. No more crime.
Yeah.
So good for him.
New York Times Siena poll, President Trump on crime. Look at this. Approve, 48%. Disapprove, 47%. Doesn't sound like he's Hitler. 48-47 doesn't sound like Hitler, Sheriff.
Yeah, no, not at all. And this is common sense. I'm surprised that it's 47% against him because all he's doing is an adherence to law.
Right.
We cannot have a civilized society without an adherence to law. And this soft on crime, no consequence for crime, no jail time, no prison time. It's always somebody else's fault. And let's blame it on a medical condition, mental health care. There was a statement earlier that we are destroying ourselves from within, and it's a party that's doing it.
It's amazing to me because I would like to ask the 47%. I'd like to say, so where do you stand on crime? 47% do not want the president to be tough on crime. Where do you stand exactly on crime? Sheriff? Kate, thank you both.
Thank you.
Coming up, Turning Point USA hosting its first